So as a social media manager, you need to first realize that you're your first client.
Okay.
And then you need to create content like you're creating for one person. Most times people are like, oh, this is for me. A lot of people are saying this is for me in the comment section. Omobolaji, I was thinking about this. You were not thinking about it because I understand them. So you want to create content around people's pain points.
Yeah.
Don't tell them that they have a problem. Give them the solution with your content.
You are now listening to Marketing Over Wine, a podcast where I chat with the marketers behind the companies and the campaigns you see in the world today. They share everything: how they got into marketing, the strategies and the tools that they use, how they charge for their services, and the mistakes and successes they have made in their career. Each episode is unfiltered and a masterclass, so come join us. I am your host as always, Olawumi Olaniyi. Hey everyone, welcome back to Marketing Over Wine, the podcast you listen to become a better, more knowledgeable marketing professional. Today's guest is someone I've always admired from afar. I followed that journey from 2021 when she got her first MacBook, and when it crashed to losing her social media page the same year, September, and starting over to getting it back and continuing to build for social media managers. My today's guest on Marketing Over Wine is Omobolaji Ajibare, popularly known as Bolaji Billions, or the Social Media Oga, whichever one of them you know her as. She is the social media manager's manager, badass video content creator, coach, and speaker. Thank you for joining me on the pod, Bolaji.
Thank you for having me.
Really an honor to have you here.
It is. It's really an honor to be here, actually.
And I know that before we started recording, we talked about your last lecture as a master's student. You're almost at the finish line, so well done on that, and congrats.
Thank you. It's kind of scary, but
you
thank
did this. You announced that it is the dissertation time. What does that look like for a master's degree in digital marketing? Do you have a topic in mind already?
Oh, yeah. We are allowed to pick our topics, which is good, unlike when you are in Nigeria or you're in uni.
I picked my topic though.
Oh, wonderful. They picked our topic for us in school. So I picked my topic, and I picked the topic that would make it very easy for me to finish my dissertation in time, because my dissertation time I planned on using it to probably explore Manchester, explore London, the UK in general. And since I couldn't get like a placement, and it's not like I couldn't get, they said I don't want to talk about it. So I picked my dissertation topic is more of short form video content, and I know I'll find a lot of resources. Everybody's using short form video content. It's basically the rise of short form video content among businesses, the impact it has on social media managers in Nigeria.
How exciting.
It will be easy for Nigerians to fill my survey. It will be easy for anybody. I don't want anything that will stress me. I'll pick UK. I'll not be looking for who fill my survey and everything.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm excited.
If it's possible to get to read it later on, I would love to.
Definitely. No problem.
Congrats once again. You did this.
I'm doing it. I'm not done yet.
well, finish line. So yeah, I would say you did this already.
Thank you.
Let's play a game.
Okay.
It's a game of tell me you're a social media manager without telling me you're a social media manager. I'll go first. My gallery is filled with screenshots of content ideas, and I constantly save videos on Instagram to recreate them later. Your turn.
You're literally stealing my point. Okay, I'm logged into more than 5 Instagram accounts on my phone, and I believe people should not put links in their captions.
Yeah.
Because why would you do that?
Yeah, I don't understand why people still do that. I think that's something we'll talk about later on in this episode. Okay. It's one of the pet peeves, basically, saying people had links to the captions.
Your pet peeves. I don't actually see it as a pet peeve. The one I would say is a pet peeve is, why are you using #explore page? That's my biggest pet peeve. Like, it just makes me so annoyed. Makes me so annoyed, but yeah.
Okay. So you studied computer science for your first degree and graduated with a bachelor's in technology.
Yeah.
But you somehow found yourself in social media management, which you have been doing for 9 years now. How did that happen? Was it coincidental? Was it intentional? What's the full origin story behind your career?
Okay, so going to a state university was, how would I say it? It was like, my school, they were fighting. Oshun say it's we that own this school. Or you stay, we are the owner. So we're on strike.
Okay.
Ladoke Akitola University, by the way. We were always on strike. I heard it's better now.
Yeah.
We're always on strike. And I was in 200 level. We first had ASU strike. Apart from the other strikes that I was still going to have. In 200 level, I entered uni at a very early age. I was 15 when I entered uni.
Wow.
I couldn't go to Unilag because of, they said they don't, if you're not 16, you cannot come into Unilag and everything.
Yeah.
I wish if I had gone to Unilag, probably I would have blown more. Everything. Maybe, but we'll never know. When I was 16, I was in 200 level already. My 100 level was smooth, no strike, nothing. 200 level went on 6 months ASU strike. Hey, Jesus, my life. My mother said, what did I not learn during that strike? I learned how to make hair.
Wow.
I learned how to sew and everything. But my parents got me my first BlackBerry because when I was in secondary school, I was using a touchlight Nokia phone. So my friends were using the big pro phones, iPods and everything. My father, my mother, and I like Nokia touchlights, me and my siblings. So when I graduated from secondary school, they got me my first like Nokia, was it Xperia or something like that? It had plenty keys and I was really good. But one day water entered inside that phone and I mistakenly kept the phone on like gas and everything. For it to like dry and I suppose the camera, so it wasn't really good for me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What was the thought process behind putting it on gas?
No, it wasn't on gas. Like I turned on the gas, made it hot, then turned it off, then put it there. The camera melted. I don't know. I was girl. You can't blame me. Okay. I've never said this to anyone before. Then at how would I say it, 16, my matriculation, my parents bought me my first BlackBerry Curve 2. Okay. I treasured that phone.
Yeah.
And it was what made me love BlackBerry Curves. And during strike, I was very popular on Twitter. I was always a troublemaker. That time Twitter is not what it is now.
Yeah, Twitter is not. It's not.
It's terrible. There we had Twitter mother, Twitter father, Twitter family. We had this Twitter list.
The gas boost, everything was
we were all matured there. Now we have Twitter is full of children. We had Twitter list. I was which Twitter list did I not enter as a troublemaker? There was Twitter list. Oh my god! My Twitter mom then was Pink Soldier. There was the time of it was a lot. There was Tweetmopo time. There was so that time I was literally on Twitter and I remembered Twitter deactivated my account like 3 times. They've been deactivated accounts since the days of Jack. They're not there now. They've been deactivated. My first Twitter account was Lollipop G. I don't know how I came up with that handle because today it doesn't make sense. Then I had Miss Bola.
I think it was the aftermath of to-go usernames.
Yeah. But how did I come up with Lollipop J? It did not make any sense. Today it doesn't make any sense to me. Then I had another handle, Miss Bola, but I feel like for that account, before it got suspended, I forgot the password login for the email I first created when I was small. BG for real rocks. Like, why would I? No, we're small. And everything. But it was the start of my career because that was when I realized that in 200 level that I really loved social media and all the handiwork that my mother said I should go do, I should go learn and everything wasn't really for me. So it was at that point, that moment, I knew that social media was what for me. So that's what I would say was the origin of everything I am right now, or I am striving to be. Because people say the asylum I've gone through. Well, I was not raised up in an asylum in Jesus' name, but that was the origin of where it all started.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you. I've never shared that before, though.
Well, we're getting the exclusive on this podcast, so.
Yeah, kind of.
A quick thing to add: if you haven't subscribed yet and you love the content of Marketing Over Wine, please do so and share with all your friends. Now let's get back to the episode. So one thing many people do is that they confuse the role of a social media manager with a content creator or a content writer. Nowadays, you'd see job titles as, we're looking for a social media executive with content writing ability. And I think it stems from the mindset that social media management is not a big deal. It's not just to post. And for the employers to, in quote, get value for their money, they believe that they have to attach it with another task or attach it with another role. Now, you are a social media manager and you're also a video content creator. You teach creators and social media managers how to monetize videos. What sets a social media marketer apart from a content writer or a content creator?
Okay, so I'm going to correct your question. A social media manager is also different from a social media marketer, by the way.
Okay.
So let's put that to rest also.
All right. All right.
I'm going to answer the question of what sets a social media manager from a content creator.
Yeah.
And I will now go ahead to add what sets a social media manager, a content creator, from an influencer.
Okay.
So let's get it all out.
Let's get it.
I'm about to school you guys. So now, a social media manager is responsible for how a brand is perceived online. We control. I'm talking about we. Yeah, I'm no longer a social media manager. I'm more of the coach. But as a social media manager, you are in charge of how a brand is perceived online. You control like the digital assets that goes out online, the way you communicate, the brand's voice, the brand tone. You are literally crafting the brand's presence in the positive light for the audience. Content creator, on the other hand, creates content based on a particular niche, a particular topic. Not every content creators can be social media managers. Lots of content creators can only manage their accounts. They cannot manage a business page. They cannot replicate, and I say it again, they cannot replicate what they've built with their personal brand on business pages. And that's where social media managers are superior, because a lot of social media managers can replicate growth on different accounts. Like that is social media managers that know what they are doing. Now, influencers, I would say social media managers are not influencers. Not every content creator can be an influencer, because an influencer is somebody that influences their audience to take a certain action, buy a certain product, purchase a certain service, or influences you not directly. A lot of people are like, oh, but you influence me to start social media management. I'm like, I'm influencing you to start social media. It's not easy. It's not a get rich quick scheme. So there are really three different things. And an influencer, not every influencer, some of them, they will have, before an influencer say I want to be a social media manager, the only thing, because if you've managed only your own personal page, I'm sorry, you're not a social media manager. You are that's your personal brand. That's it's different. So, example, I'm going to use my friends as an example. I have a friend, Dimeji, Salem. Everybody might know Salem. Everybody might not know Salem. Salem cannot say he's a social media manager. He should come and shoot me because he should come and take it up with me. I'll take it up with him. Salem is a content creator and he's also an influencer, and he's sticking to that. I like him for that. He knows his strengths. He knows. I'm not saying he knows his weaknesses. He doesn't have weakness in Jesus' name, but yes, he knows that this is my strength. He's a badass content creator and a badass influencer, and he capitalizes on that. I'm sorry, I'm not a great influencer. I'm a great content creator and an exceedingly great social media manager, but I am not a great influencer. That's why I'm somebody like, do wig influencer, because a lot of wigs are doing. I've been wearing this wig for the past 2 months because you cannot see. Don't worry, Nick can see because I'm lazy. I cannot be doing all this. I don't have the time to influence you to do anything or anything. So it's really different. So as a social media manager, Dimeji, my friend Dimeji is not a social media manager. Cannot do it. He's a badass brand designer. He's sticking to that. It's like, I'm brand design, content creation, influencer. Yes. You see that social media management thing, he'll tell you leave it for Bolaji. And that's it. So a social media manager is not a content creator. Social media manager is not an influencer. And I tell my social media managers and the ones in Nigeria, it's when I came here that I understood there are a lot of things that go into social media management. See, we are not doing social media management in Nigeria. When you come to the UK, when you see the US do social media management, people are like, what? But yes, they job with descriptions everywhere. They're still very ridiculous, by the way. Very ridiculous.
I think the other day I saw this job description on Twitter, and the crazy part is it was put out by a media and news company for a social media executive role. The job responsibilities and the requirements included practical experience with Adobe Photoshop, Premiere Pro, and After Effects, practical knowledge of motion graphics, social listening, posting on and managing all social media accounts, monitor SEO and user engagement, and so on and so forth. And this caused a lot of uproar on Twitter, and it's true because it's quite common, especially on LinkedIn, when you see companies put out job description of social media managers or social media executives, and you're seeing, I think most employers, like I said before, feel that for them to see the value in the amount they are paying for social media management, you shall have to do something else. You have to add that video design, that video editing or video creation, or add motion. What are you doing with motion graphics into real life? Why? So yeah, these are the issues. This is why we need conversations like this.
Okay, so to add to that conversation, I feel like a lot of them are just trying to cut costs.
Yeah.
A whole lot of them, they don't want to employ a graphic designer. That's why they're looking for a social media manager that can do graphic design. And the fact that a lot of them don't realize or have not recognized that social media management is quite demanding is ridiculous, because there's a lot that goes into social media management. And one thing I was able to do, and one thing I'm going to be doing in the next few weeks, probably this year, is going to be talking more on what social media management is and changing the narrative around social media management. Like I've even drafted out like a 30-day video content idea on videos I want to create relating to social media management, because there's like a whole lot. You hear ridiculous. I saw a job description also that said they are looking for a social media manager, and then you must be willing to drive. I don't understand how being a driver and a social media manager, like just be a driver for crying out loud. So I get you, but I feel like a lot of them are trying to cut costs and they don't want to increase their overhead costs, and it's just really pretty ridiculous. And that's why a lot of them, they're always looking for social media managers every single time. There's a big brand in Nigeria, a very big brand, they are always looking for social media managers. I'm always saying that there is every quarter they are looking for social media, because I think that overwhelming the social media manager and be like, when you see something else that makes you, even if you don't see something, you just leave the job, because if you add the pay, be like, I beg, let me stay in my house.
Now, the other time you mentioned that we are not really doing social media management. Did that come from your degree, the MSc in digital marketing?
I've not gotten it
when you traveled.
No, I've not gotten it yet. Okay. But I've been doing in-depth study to what social media management is. My last course in school right now is search and social media marketing, and we had to do like a lot of research, and I'm like, oh my god, we're not doing social media management in Nigeria. And is why I'm even revamping my course and trying to launch a more detailed, robust course, because I'm like, there are so many flaws. And because a friend of mine was looking for a social media manager, and it was hard for me to recommend someone, apparently, because I've taken a break for a year and I've not worked with a lot of social media managers. So I'm like, I can't recommend somebody to you right now, like that I've not trained with the new landscape and everything, because the social media landscape is ever evolving. And I feel like in Africa especially, I'm not even going to like just narrow down to Nigeria. We were still at the very beginning. We've not scratched the surface of social media management. There's social listening. We don't do that in Nigeria. And I've also gotten to that point where I'm like, okay, so I'm going to give you a very, very, very big example with myself. I have a personal account, Omobolaji Ajibare. It was on 156k followers for 3 months, and I'm like, something is wrong. I was always growing every single month, and then I stopped, and then I checked my analytics, but I wasn't. Normally the analytics I would check is like, okay, I'll just check the analytics. But because I'm getting a degree, and we've been doing a lot of data analysis and everything, because in my mind, the way they do data analysis in this country, my Jesus, oh my god, you'll be like shocked. But then I was able to interpret the data, and it's something I'm going to share at the end of this quarter. I was able to interpret the data, and I'm like, okay, this is where the problem is. And I can tell you, in 28 days, I was able to gain an extra 1,000 followers. I have not grown since January, but in 28 days, if you check my follower count now, it's 127. I have proof to back it up, because I always take screenshots. So I'm like, we don't analyze data, we just see, best time to post. The best time to post that Instagram is showing you is the best time showing everybody else. So everybody's posting at the same time. But when you interpret data, you'll be like, this is where the problem is. This is how I need to fix it. Or this is what I need to do. And trust me, I needed to just fix that problem of my growth, my followership in 2 to 3 posts or 3 posts, and then I was seeing followers. And it's the same thing I did for my YouTube. Like I grew, my views were like 7k. I'm like, what's going on? And in 28 days, by interpreting the data, I was able to grow and add like an extra 8,000 views to make it like, it wasn't 8,000, 6,000 views to make it like 13,000. I have the data to prove it. Like I have screenshot like data. So I've not scratched the surface of, because if you do data analysis, it's the same thing also with my podcast, because I have like my own podcast. And I'm like, I'm not growing. People are not listening to you. What's going on? And then they are giving them tips, and I'm like, okay, it's not by impressions. People are seeing you, but they are not listening. So how do you interpret this data and refine your strategy? We don't do that in Nigeria. We just want, let's post for our client and reply, comment, and DMs. And that's not what social media management is.
Okay. Now that you brought this up, I remember this conversation on Twitter. Someone tweeted that he moved jobs, he changed countries, relocated, and he realized that many of the things that we're doing over here, I think the person is a content marketer, many of the things that we're doing over here is more or less like the basic part of it when you go to other countries. And he talked about the fact that he had to start, there are different terminologies that he had never heard about, and when they talked about it in the office space, he had to start asking that, I beg, please, what does this mean? And he has been doing the same job in Nigeria for over 5 years, but then getting there is like he had to start from scratch. So
I agree.
Would you say that we need outside experience, or that people need to maybe do a master's course in another country? Would that be what will help?
No, you don't need to do a master's course. If you had asked me, if you tell me, do I need to do a master's course? Like, Bolaji, should I go for master's? I'll tell you, no, I beg, go and look for professionals that can train you. Because it's like, to be honest, it's like the same thing with going to the university that you went in Nigeria. The same way they teach you, it's the same way they teach you. So if you don't have experience, especially if you're my roommate has not slept in this house for 2 days because she's doing assignment. She just come back today, I'm telling you. And that's because the course, I used to make just over everywhere. I said the course she studied in uni, it's not the course she's doing for masters. She's doing an entirely new course. And then they are not teaching you like you don't know it. They're not teaching you ABC. They're teaching you like you already know it. They're just teaching you the advanced. So I would say for social media management, or for whatever it is we do in Africa, we're not exposed. We need to get exposure. Attend events. A lot of people like, okay, social media manager, a lot of us use Canva. How many of them are signed up for Canva Create that's happening at the end of this month? That will introduce Canva's new features to you. How many of them are following newsletters that will keep you updated with the latest news and trends of what is happening? How many of them are following this TikTok ban? Because trust me, if TikTok is banned in the US, it will affect all of us. Forget that you're in Nigeria, it will affect you. It will affect a lot of them, because if they can ban a whole TikTok in the US, when they ban Twitter in Nigeria, it didn't affect anybody, because US is the United States of America. There's a reason why they are the United States of America. And if the government can ban TikTok, it will affect all of us, all over the world. That's why everybody's talking about the TikTok ban. But Nigerians were just like, okay, it's not concern me. We're fighting we're contributing to the video and Wizkid fights. We're looking at somebody tell you the big for the big. Sometimes I'll be like, we don't even know what it is. We need exposure, and I'll say it's up to us that are getting exposed to bring that back to Africa. You see social media managers, you see events that are happening, and a lot of people are going for events. They're bringing speakers that there's a big lacuna between them and the people that are attending the event. One thing I'm even working on, and I'm praying to God for strength when I come back to Nigeria, because I'm not living Nigeria like fully, is have social media workshops where we dissect this social media management thing.
Okay.
Strategy, the same way I build social media strategy is not the same way I will build a social media strategy now. I was telling everybody, I'm telling anybody that when people see my analytics report at the end of this quarter, you'll be like, Bola, it's your true. Because I have been able to see the data, and I'm like, this data is not working. Like, what's going on? Let me refresh my strategy. And then it takes you analytics. Some people just pull screenshots, put it together. Analysis, I'm still working on my last month analysis. I'm still putting the data together. I've been working on it since Monday.
Wow.
It's a lot, but yeah.
All right. Looking forward to the analytics then.
Oh yeah.
Will it be posted on your YouTube page or your Instagram page?
It's going to be YouTube. It's the same way. See, the social media portfolio that most social media managers have, they will show you when you open it, you see it's that they are doing screenshot of before and after of the feed. What did you do?
We'll come back to that topic. We'll come back to that topic. I was talking to a friend recently. She's a social media manager for a real estate company.
Okay.
And she mentioned that the company expected her to generate sales. As in, people should come and buy land or buy properties after seeing a social media post. Now, this is the same mentality of many employers. The marketing department is expected to drive sales, not just brand awareness or retention. And since social media management is a part of that department, the expectations trickle down to them. So what's your view on this? Does social media management generate sales for a brand?
Okay, so most times the job of driving online sales is the job of a social media marketer.
Okay, that was the difference.
But your job as a social media manager should reflect that something's happening. Because I am paying you a salary, or I am paying you for the job you are doing as a business, or a social media manager for my business. And if I'm not getting sales, why exactly do I have a social media manager? If your posts are not reaching the people you're supposed to reach. That's why, on my table here, I drafted a whole lot of things, and I'm like, a lot of people be like, okay, how do I create content for my clients as a social media manager? A lot of social media managers don't know exactly. You can instruct your clients how they create content for them. You don't just get a water bottle. Your client is saying water bottle, and then you just tell the client to take pictures. Then you want the client to take pictures of that water bottle. That people will be like, I don't need a water bottle, but I will buy. Something happened recently on Twitter. That's why I said a lot of social media managers don't understand, because if you stay updated to trends, newsletters, and everything, there was a pickle company. They noticed that their sales was going down. All they needed to do was change the packaging of their pickle jar. All they needed to do was change the way the design on their pickle jar, and their skills just skyrocketed. Because the way they eat pickles here is different. They eat pickles in everything. I don't understand. But it's your job. If I'm paying you as my social media manager, I must be getting leads on a constant, and the leads is what will now translate to sales, because it's the job of the sales marketer to now take it up, or the social media marketer to take it up, and it to translate to sales. And I can tell you, there's this brand I admire so well on it's a real estate. Yes, it's my friend that works there. It's called Dukia. It's not a free promo for them or anything, but I love the way they sell real estate in Nigeria. I love the way they promote it. I love the way they do strategy meetings. Like, they even post that sometimes when they are doing, we don't hear what they are saying, but the way they do their house influencing, even I'm looking for money to buy house from them. Is a lead. I'm a lead. They don't know, but me, I'm looking for the 160 million that we use to buy house from them. It's just your job should reflect that you're actually doing something as a social media manager, basically.
Okay. Thank you for clearing that up again.
You're welcome.
Now, speaking of misconceptions, what is the biggest misconception that you have had about working in social media management? That
our job is easy.
Okay.
Because see, a lot of people that signed up for this digital marketing in our degree as a master student, a lot of them thought, it's digital marketing and social media, what's the difference? It's going to be easy. When they enter, they'll be like, oh my god. Oh my, to be honest, you hear, oh my god, it's stressful. Oh my god, this our last assignment has shown a lot of people that maybe I should have done something else, maybe project management or something. You have to be present on social media. They'll be like, and you see that a lot of them don't have a social media presence, and you're a digital marketer. How do you now translate that? So one of the biggest concerns, our job is easy, and our job is just posts. It's not. There's a lot of community management, content creation, social listening, monitoring, analytics, and reporting. Because a lot of social media managers, they don't know how to monitor analytics. They only know how to report, and they are not even reporting the analytics very well. And staying updated with trends and algorithm changes. I asked a lot of social media, what did Instagram say yesterday about how they are pushing creators and original content? A lot of them will not know. That's the biggest misconceptions I know. Those two. Yeah.
You just talked about social media presence. Now, there's a lot of debates in the social media management space. People believe that as a social media manager, different school of thoughts. Some people believe that as a social media manager, you need to have a social media presence and a large following on social media to prove your worth. The idea is that if you have 10k followers, it means that you can do the same thing for my brand. The other school of thought says that you don't need a large following. And that's why you have a portfolio or testimonials. Someone even once tweeted that another way to look at it is if you have time for a personal online presence to grow your followers like that, it's a sign that you're not giving 100% to your clients. Now you have 127k and 74k on your Instagram accounts respectively. Has that impacted the quantity and quality of clients you get? Let's deal with that first.
As a social media manager, you are your first client. A lot of people fail to realize that, and I failed to realize that because my account was on 50k on social media Oga and Bolaji Billions was on 3k, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then I made sure I was my first client, and now my personal brand is on 127k. And it's way more than the social media Oga because it's very easy to grow a personal brand when there's a face to the brand. Understanding, after I understood that I am my first client, it was very easy, and I can tell you nothing else suffered. Nothing else. It's always very easy to once you, and I'm a very disciplined person. I knew that I had this, but I even joined the podcast before you said that is the owner of the podcast because I'm very one thing about me, I'm very disciplined. I know what I want to achieve. I know that today is going to be a very long day for me, and I'm still feeling I'm running on a few hours of sleep and everything. So I've told myself that I'm going to plan my time well. So if I'm working with clients, when I was still working with clients, none of them actually suffered. I give my all, and I still built my pages. Because see, if I did not build my page, you think you'll be inviting me to this podcast? No, nah. A lot of social media managers are doing really well. The social media manager of Duolingo on LinkedIn, everybody find her because she's putting herself out there. Because if she Duolingo says she's not,
I think for Duolingo own though, I don't think it's more about a personal page, because a personal LinkedIn page, she posts once a month, but that post.
But people are referring to her as the social media manager of Duolingo.
That's what they are. That's the thing.
But it's because of what she's doing with the page. That's why. But our page is not. Where is our page going? Why am I following her on LinkedIn? It's because I know she's the social media manager of Duolingo, and I want to learn. The social media manager of Crocs. Why am I following her? Because she's the social media manager of Crocs, and the social media marketing manager of Barbie. Why am I following her? It's because she's the social media marketing manager of Barbie. It's because of what they are doing on those pages. And how are they doing it? They are blowing their own because that's what they are. Because they are doing that results, the results that you can clearly see, they can clearly see there. But then you're a social media manager, you're managing a small business that people don't know about, and you're not even managing your own page for it. They will not recognize you because you can put that small business on your page and people will be like, oh, it's a dummy page, it doesn't exist or something like that. It's just, you need to be honest, do you know that Duolingo zone, if she wants to move to another company, to be very easy for her.
Definitely. Zaria is an hot cake.
I don't know if you watch Love is Blind.
No, I didn't.
Kwame of 2 seasons ago is now the podcast host of Later, a social media blog that is one of the top social media blogs. Kwame, and that's because he sold himself on that page on Love is Blind very well. He now has a full-time job. His wife too, she's on Love is Blind. Money is coming in steady for them, apart from the fact that they are already celebrities and they're still doing partnership deals. They're doing partnership deals with Kevin Klein and everything. And as a social media manager, you're not building your page, you're not building your personal brand. I will always say it, you should be your first client.
Okay.
Because the way you sell yourself is how you'll be able to sell your work with other clients as a social media manager, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm actually enjoying this episode.
Same here. So if I get you right, your personal social media account is important, right?
Yes, it is.
Very
It is.
important. Very important.
Yes, it is. Your personal brand.
But when I mentioned the large following, you shook your head no.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean you don't necessarily need a large following?
No, you don't. Like you said, Duolingo, she doesn't have plenty followers.
Yeah.
The social media manager.
She
doesn't.
has followers. She has on her LinkedIn page, but she does not just engage them.
Not compared to Duolingo.
No, definitely not.
Not compared to Duolingo.
Yeah.
Exactly. And she didn't start from there.
Mm-hmm.
Social media Oga. Do you know a lot of people know me as Bolaji Billion? They don't even know I'm the social media Oga. They don't know I exist. And that's my goal, to become very global like this year.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be globally, just not in Nigeria. I don't want to be a local champion, global champion.
Billion mindset.
Exactly. So you don't need to have a large following, but you need to know what you're doing. I need to be able to see that your followership tallies with your likes.
Yeah.
You know, yes, if you have 5,000 followers, at least you should be getting like 200 likes, 100 likes on post. So that is 2 likes that you
for 3,000 followers.
Yes, it's not bad.
Okay.
100 because even we that are on 100k, we're having 2,000.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just. But to be honest, and there's some posts that people will definitely relate to. I made a post about things I struggle with, and it has over 500 comments and over 5,000 likes because people could relate to it.
Yeah.
I made a post about something people. It had in less than 24 hours. It had 10,000 views because people could relate to it. And people tell you Instagram is dead. Instagram is not dead. If you are showing everybody's post to everybody, you don't need social media managers again. We will run out of jobs. You don't need influencers again. Influencers will run out of jobs. You don't need content creators. And these social media platforms too, they will run out of jobs. So everybody will keep complaining until their kingdom come. But that's what happens.
I want to throw a contradictory topic out here now.
Okay.
We talked about influencers at different points. I want to say that when I'm referring to most of the Twitter influencers that call themselves influencers.
They are not influencers.
Okay.
They're just loud makers.
Okay.
Noise makers. Loudspeakers.
Okay. I'm glad I'm putting that out there.
They want to collect a lot of money. That's it. Those ones are not influencers. Influencers are the ones on TikTok looking for TikTok. You see those TikTok influencers, they are working hard. That's why they deserve every good thing that comes to their life because it's easy to be behaving like an idiot on live. Those Instagram influencers, they put it so much up because the Instagram algorithm is not just the YouTube influencers I give them. To be honest, you see those Twitter influencers that allowed last week. I said the ones in Nigeria.
Since Elon decided that you can earn revenue now,
everybody just say anything.
Everybody is just tweeting anything.
For clout.
Even when he brought up this, if you are farming engagement, your account will be banned. Till now, people are still focused on that.
I see some posts like Twitter is not one of my major platforms anymore. I don't put in the energy there.
Okay.
I don't. I was posting before on a Twitter like consistent. So I just come there once in a while just to. But I feel like there's a day I'll just wake up and just delete the account and just move on.
Oh, wow.
To be honest,
don't do
that. Once I'm able to build my YouTube very well. Anybody that wants to my YouTube, my Instagram, my TikTok. I'm not really my YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn. Basically, that's it for me. I don't want to be everywhere and then I have my website. Everybody will be fine. That's it. Those are my major platforms for now.
Okay.
Then Threads is actually blowing up.
That's debatable.
But it's good. If TikTok gets banned, Threads is going to grow because a lot of brands are leaving TikTok. I'm sorry, Twitter. A lot of brands are leaving Twitter, and who is going to Blue Sky? I have a Blue Sky account.
No, I don't think anyone will go to Blue Sky. Jack made a mistake when he started out that stuff.
He should have done so Twitter, to be honest.
He made a big mistake. But
he's going to regret it for the rest of his life.
For Threads, I don't know. When Threads came out, everyone rushed to Threads. It was a new thing, a new shiny object. But I think people could not retain. It was like a mixture of Twitter and Instagram.
They could not release all they did not get their footing well. They did not strategize well before they released it. They should have.
And the fact that Twitter is still there, even if brands, I think that's why some brands are even coming back to Twitter, even though they left the first time, because engagement, the topic is fast. People are constantly tweeting.
Twitter is like a news blog.
As they hot. As
something happens,
immediately you hear about it on Twitter. the moment Instagram goes down,
Yeah.
you can hear it on Twitter, something like that. So I think that's why Twitter will probably continue to remain relevant.
Yeah.
But if Instagram can replicate that for
I don't think so.
Threads,
They've not fixed Instagram yet.
Okay.
They'll be fine.
Moving away from that,
Okay.
we know that having a smooth onboarding process can help retain clients as a social media manager, and it's also important in having all expectations spelled out.
Yeah.
Earlier on Twitter, you tweeted that if an employer is looking for a social media manager and wants them to resume urgently, in your words, I put it to you that you would only get a social media poster.
Yes.
And then you went on to explain that there should be an onboarding process, so that the social media manager can understand how to work with you and your brand.
Yeah.
So for you, what's your client onboarding process like in practice?
Okay, so thank you for asking that question, because I even have it right here on my phone, so I can just read it out to you.
Yeah.
First one.
Okay.
I don't do free calls anymore because it's a waste of time, to be honest. A lot of people don't show up for the calls that you've budgeted, you've worked your time around.
Yeah.
So you pay for a discovery call with me. So fill like a form. I have a form that you can fill, and then once you've paid, once I see that we're a good fit, we'll move on.
Okay.
We'll move on to the next stage. So we have a meeting and a discovery call, and this is about to getting to know my clients. We talk about their background, the business details, their ideal customer profile, their pain points, their stories, experiences, values, inspiration, blah blah blah. And I always record the calls so that I can go back, watch it. I also take notes and everything.
Yeah.
Then after, if I see that we're a good fit, I do a market research and strategy. So this is where I can ask my client to I do market research on them and see, okay, am I willing to move forward? I send them a proposal, a customized proposal to them, just to them. It's not the same. You don't just send the same price to every client. I'm sorry. If Zara comes to me today, the price I'm going to give Zara is not the same price I'll give to a business that is not known as a freelancer. So once I send them the proposal, like, okay, this is what is going to work for you, or this is what I think is good for your business or for your brand, we can now go on to the next stage. And the next stage is, one second, the next stage is the mapping stage. So I have different stages, and this stage is I put together, trying to figure out what their proposal is, figure out what their pain points are from the call, put them together and send them a proposal. Then once they feel like, oh, we can pay your money, we can afford you, I send them a contract. If the contract is not signed, forget it, but I'm not even going to think about it. Send them the contract once my invoice is paid, and I'll start thinking about the account. It takes me 8 weeks, at least 8 weeks, to finish onboarding a client. Onboarding in 1 week, my star, my brother, no good. 8 weeks, because you're going to map a strategy. You need to see what's working, what's not been working in the account and everything. So in 8 weeks, I'm able to see that, okay, this is what you've been working. I'll collect all your brand assets. I'll create a content calendar that suits you. I will see what your content pillars are, group them, take pictures of all your analytics. Okay, this is where we're starting from. Understand what your brand voice is. I need to study your social media lingo. For example, if you are managing content for a client in the US and I'm in the UK, there's some words that I should, because the US uses more of Z, the UK uses more of S. Analyze, realization, and everything. Because my client is in the US, I need to also understand their lingo. The US says, oh, you're right is their hi. In Nigeria we say hi. In the UK they say you are right. I don't know what they say in the US. So you need to understand their lingo as a social media manager, and this takes time. You can't learn everything, and while you're still onboarding one client, you are working with other clients that you currently have, or you're trying to put things in place, and you're trying to still be a human. So the onboarding process is really quite long, and then you send them a strategy, send them approval. They have to approve the content, you have to create captions, do hashtag research before you can now say you are ready to start posting. So
all of these are in the onboarding process.
Yes, this is still in the onboarding process. We're 2 months in and you have not started posting. They can't employ you to a company, a social media manager today, and they expect you, a good company, they expect you to start posting tomorrow. They don't do that, except if they already have something that is working. Is this for a freelance social media manager or a full-time in-house? So this is for a freelance social media manager, I'm telling you. Then in-house, if you want to onboard a social media manager, in 1 month you're still training, you're still working them through the ropes. And I will tell you, if you are somebody that that has a business or a brand or a company that's listening to this, you need to walk this social media manager through the ropes.
Okay.
As I can't find my phone as spots because there was a post I did. What are the first things you need to do as a new social media manager in-house? And I'm going to make that video. I'll probably make that thread on Instagram or Twitter or Threads. There are so many things that a social media manager needs to understand, and they cannot understand it on the first day of the job, neither on the second day or the third day. So I left my 9 to 5. I was still trying to understand the ropes of that job. So it takes you like 1 month and maybe 1 week to finish onboarding a social media manager as an in-house social media manager. But as a freelancer, to onboard a new client takes you like 2 months.
Okay.
Maximum 8 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now for the $1 million for the $1 million question that bothers most social media managers.
Okay.
Does a social media manager need to master only one platform or learn to use the notable ones? Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, TikTok, Reddit. So which is it?
So I'd say if you're just starting out, I'd say you need to know one very well.
Okay.
Like if they wake up from sleep and say, Bolaji, can you do this? Yes, I can do this. Master that platform very well, like you know the nitty-gritty of that platform.
Yeah.
Then you cannot expand into other platforms, because if you just stick to just one platform, what if they ban the platform tomorrow? So know this platform, understand it, then start spreading your wings. I started with Twitter. Nobody will believe that. I started with Twitter. I had an account of 35k. They deactivated it.
That's funny because you're more of an Instagram person now.
No, I'm not an Instagram person. I was a Twitter person until I got tired of the deactivation and the toxicity, and I just left. So, and I put all my eggs in Instagram, built that.
Yeah.
Now I'm building YouTube, I'm building LinkedIn, and I tell people I've been able to grow on LinkedIn 2,000 followers since I started my master's degree. 2,000 followers since I started. That's in 9 months, and that's because I'm not even posting occasionally. Now imagine if I'm posting every day. Sometimes I think I post once a week, and I just comment once a week and everything, and I'm growing continuously. So it's master one, then start mastering the other. Now I'm mastering YouTube very well, and my SEO score is like 80 over 100, and I'm like, oh, you're doing well.
Yeah.
Like if you search on Google some particular topics when it comes to social media management, I'll pop up, my videos will pop up, because I'm able to master my SEO, and that's because thank God for masters as well, because I didn't really take SEO seriously until I started doing my masters. So yeah.
All right. In your reintroduction post on Instagram, you mentioned that you discovered some blog posts that helped you grow your page to 20,000 followers. Do you remember the blog post content?
Not really, but I think I did a video on how I began my journey as on YouTube, on how the courses I took, the blogs I subscribed to. This morning I was even like, okay, should I write about that in my email list again, because there are a lot of blog posts that I read. Even this morning I've read like 4 or 5, and I'm going to send that to my community again this afternoon. Let them know that okay, this is a blog you should be subscribed to, that you want to get their newsletter. But if you say I should list some of them, I can.
I was actually going to ask not even the vlogs. I was going to ask if you can share the tips or steps that you use to grow to that 20,000 followers that anyone can emulate.
Okay, so steps will be, you need to realize that as a social media manager, is it as a social media manager or as a person?
Any one of them. But since we are talking about social media management now, so more of social media manager.
I would say social media managers. So as a social media manager, you need to first realize that you're your first client.
Okay.
And then you need to create content like you're creating for one person. I was writing my real script yesterday, and the way I'm writing my script is the way I say it, because I don't have the time to be decoding anything. So I write it like I'm talking to my friend in front of me. So most times people are like, oh Bolaji, I was thinking about this. You were not thinking about it. I've gone through it, so I'm talking like I'm talking to somebody in front of me. Oh, this is for me. A lot of people are saying this is for me in the comment section, because I understand them. Another thing is you want to create content around people's pain points. Don't tell them that they have a problem. Give them the solution with your content. The content gives them the solution with your content. So I've seen a lot of people trying to learn color grading and everything, and to be honest, a lot of people are like, oh, do my color grading settings, but then that's not the solution. The solution is, and then you see people in the comment section telling you that I did these settings, but it did not work well for my video, because you did not tell them that your own lighting is different from their lighting situation.
That's
how it works. So if you understand the basics of color grading, it will be easy for you to color grade any particular video. I've already found out that people have that problem. I've created content that will address and give them the solution. I'll be like, oh, okay, so you've been going through, so you start, and also everybody will be like, oh, start with a very strong hook. To be honest, start with whatever you want to start with. I've had videos that I said, hi guys, and the video has 50,000 views. I said, hey, what's up? You be buffer. There are some videos that will be quite safe. And I'll be like, and then it's on 20,000 views. So start with whatever you want to start with. They say strong hook. So a lot of people have used hook. Have you gone viral? So another one will be, you need to study the algorithm. Use all the social media platforms feature. Use the stories, use stickers, use polls, because once Instagram recognizes that you are doing that, they will push your content. Once TikTok recognizes that you are using all their platforms, they will push your content. They know that they want to keep you on the app, and they're only rewarding people that spend time on the app. So spend time on the social media apps. That's it. That's it.
Okay. Now, since you have mentioned that one of the metrics employers and even business owners look at is engagement. They look at how many likes, how many comments, how many shares, number of accounts reached, number of follows, and so on and so forth. So let's get behind the scenes on that. How can a social media manager create content? I think you have talked about one of them already, addressing the pain points. So the first point would probably be creating content that addresses the pain points. Correct?
Yeah, that can be the first point. Number two would be, you need to understand who it is you're talking to.
Your target audience.
There's so many things that goes into creating content. And I saw a post of a friend yesterday, a classmate basically. She said, the only thing I've learned in this master's course is buyer persona. And I sat down and I reflected, because to be honest, everything boils down to the person you're talking to, the buyer persona. I'm sure when you started your podcast, you had the buyer persona, your ideal client, ideal target audience. So once you understand that, you'll be able to create content for them. I know my target audience. Somebody have told me, oh, you're too niched. Let me be niched. I was trying to be like other people, and then I'm starting all over again because I'm copying, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. I want to be niched. Let me talk to the social media managers. Let me be the ones that equips the social media managers to tell them what to do and how to do it. So you need to also know who it is you're talking to. Another thing will be research. You need to do research. I do research every single day. I'm saving something, I'm learning something every single day. That's why there's somebody that's sending you an email from any of the blogs that you signed up to, the newsletters you signed up to, something that you will learn. Miss, if I was sending email today, I was supposed to send it yesterday, but I've not even started I don't know where I'm going to start from. From where I'm going to start the email from and where I'm going to end it. But yeah, you need to learn every day, and also you need to continually upskill, because when you upskill, it will be easy to create content for your clients that they can relate to. Your client wants to do video, you might not know video editing, but you'll be able to direct that. This video is nonsense. There's some transitions I see on social media. I'll be like, your social media manager approved that this content goes. Aproko Vector, can use him as an example. It's my brother. He's married to my sister. They did a video yesterday, and it was flawless. The transition was flawless. It was on point. And that's because the person that shot the video would have directed a Aproko Doctor to do that video. That transition will be cut. And the way they cut the video, we didn't have to pause for this transition. But you see some people, when they pause, you will know that what is this? It's one of my social media. It's like, what is this kind of nonsense transition that people are doing? So, like Aproko Doctor, if you ever get to listen to this, your video editor, this person sabi, the video director, no, they know what they are doing. So it's more of, and I can tell you, the person that edits Aproko Doctor videos does well because it's very engaging. His target audience are people in Nigeria. It's not talking to people outside Nigeria. You will see, very, very niched. And then it's eating this, because you see 100 and something thousand likes. You're seeing comments like 50,000 comments. Like, how does this man do it? He's doing it because he has able, and his social media managers, I think he's his own social media manager. He doesn't have a social media manager. Yes, he's his own social media manager. I know that. But he has people that does the work for him, the content, the scripting, and everything. It does everything. He has people that do that for them. But once you understand who your target audience is, see, it all boils down to your buyer persona and your ideal client. Create your ideal client avatar. Once you're able to do that, everything is secondary, to be honest.
Okay. You talked about X now. There's this LinkedIn post about social media managers' pet peeves, and I know I talked about pet peeves also earlier. There are also similar threads on Twitter. Someone said that our biggest pet peeve is when a business page on Instagram has highlights with nothing in them, just the cover photo. Another person said that when they get asked a question, that's literally answered in the post. Now, I know that you have faced this a lot because I've seen someone ask you something that you said in a carousel, and I'm like, sis, read now. Just read this. So let me ask you the same thing. What are some of your pet peeves in social media management?
I think I've made a video about it this year already, but let me talk about things. People sending their posts to my DMs. Why are you sending your post to my DMs? For a fact that I'm not following you, it's not like I'm very selective of who I follow. Very, very selective. But I see people's posts. Like when you comment on my post a lot, I go to your page, I comment, and I see, watch your stories. I'm a stalker. I might not even I might leave comment and everything depending on how I feel.
Yeah.
But why are you sending your post to my DM is a pet peeve for me.
So that you can see it fast.
Number two, why are you tagging me in a post that has no business to do with me?
Like Facebook.
That Facebook one, I've even left it. But you see that Instagram, why are you tagging me? Well, I've actually deactivated because of that. I removed the tag option on social media. I removed it. Like, don't tag me. Some people now mention you. You can mention me. I can delete that notification, but don't tag me in that post. Don't do that. Number three, that CapCut ending that they do is to delete on their videos. Delete it. I hate that ending.
Yeah.
Delete that CapCut. You know you edited in CapCut. The InShot watermark, delete it. The photo grid watermark, delete it. The Viva video watermark, delete it. You don't have to pay for Pro. You can just watch a 5 second or 30 seconds video ad, and then you'll be able to remove it. Delete it. It's you see hashtag explore page, hashtag trending, hashtag viral. Oh my god. So people even bring hashtag for you page on Instagram. Really?
Well, this is
yes, I think a lot of these influencers do it. Hashtag for you page. Are you like, really?
I'm guilty of that.
Why are you doing that?
I'm guilty of that. I'm someone advised me. Again, I don't know much about social media.
This is not advice you way. I see no advice.
The advice was for TikTok actually. The advice was for TikTok.
Okay, no, yeah. Even on TikTok, it's a very wrong advice. Because the hashtag is very saturated. You cannot even find yourself. You won't be able to find yourself on the hashtag. There's a lot of things that go into hashtag research.
Yeah.
So those are my major. I feel like those are my major icks. You see that story highlight? I don't even care for it because I rarely check highlights. But now a lot of people are using the highlights and everything. But yeah, and then you see those unnecessary jump cuts, like when you are doing I want to record video. There's countdown timer.
Yeah.
Go up. Why are you running back from the camera? Who is pursuing you? A popular celebrity, she wanted to join this TikTok dance. She ran back from the camera. I'm like, just do 10 seconds. Go back to your pace and do the dance. Or you cut it off way before you post. It is well.
Now on your social media page, the Social Media Oga, you have talked about how to retain clients as a social media manager. Let's backtrack a bit. Before retaining, you need to have the client at hand first. Yeah. So how do you find social media management clients to work with, using your experience so far as an example?
If you're a new social media manager, you start by working with your close community, people that are close to you. What do they do well? Like you need to find out where you can come in because you need the experience.
Yeah.
Then a lot of people say go to job boards, go to job sites and everything. I signed up for Fiverr. I've never signed up for Fiverr. I signed up for Upwork. I don't even understand that. I just closed it. I closed the account. I unsubscribed from the newsletter. I don't want to see it here. I feel like there are other ways to get jobs. LinkedIn is there. LinkedIn is actually a very reputable place to look for jobs.
Yeah.
On Twitter is actually a very reputable place to look for jobs. Look for just search for the keyword.
Yeah.
Also, let people help you blow your trumpet. I always, when I started, a lot of people didn't believe in me. Myself, I don't even believe in me. No, but I just kept going.
Yeah.
Let people know that this is what you're good at. Blow your trumpet, build your personal brand. When you build your personal brand, you don't have to be posting about social media management, but when people see how you do your page, you can do a day in my life and let people know that a day in your life you're a social media manager. This is what you do. You're learning social media management. Also, one thing I'm working on now is I'm working on a list of content ideas for what social media managers can post on their page. That doesn't have to be necessarily about social media management, that attracts clients to their page. Another thing you can do is you can volunteer, work for free. I worked for free in church, and a lot of people were like, oh, this girl can do this, can you work for me? And they started paying. My first job was free. Then I started earning 5,000 naira for a while during my NYC. That was the 5,000 naira that kept me during NYC, because I was not receiving money from home apart from my 19.5 alawi. Thank God for 19.5 alawi. So plus the 5,000 I was earning every single month from the brand I managed. So I would say those are some of the things that you should work on building your portfolio. And don't worry, for anybody that doesn't know how to build portfolio, before the end of this month, you will go and watch on YouTube. And if you cannot build portfolio,
that's actually the next thing I want us to talk about.
Okay.
You mentioned before that many people make, I don't know, I think you said it was a mistake. People just focus on adding before and after of the page.
It's not a mistake, that's what they do. They just do screenshot of before of the aesthetic of the page and after of
the page. Now we know that content writers, copywriters, and marketers add content pieces to their own portfolios. They had articles, they had landing pages, all of those kind of things. That's what are in their own portfolios.
Okay.
So what should be in a social media manager's portfolio? We already know that it should not be
analytics reports.
Okay.
The post that did well, the post that did not do well. What did you do? What are the strategies you did? The comments.
Like a case study.
Yes, it's case study that should fool your portfolio as a social media manager.
Okay.
The graphics you designed, if you designed one, the videos you edited, the content you created, the content you directed that you didn't even create, that you gave content direction. I'm going to share my portfolio at the end of this month. It's the last video that I'm going to do. I'm going to share my portfolio and you're going to see even the ones that I gave content direction that I didn't even put the video there. You gave content direction. Shoots that you gave content direction. It's you. So explain the content direction, why you gave the content direction. Explain it there. Don't just be, oh my god. Don't just put it before and after of aesthetic pages. I was reviewing portfolio in my community and I'm like, what is going on? Like, people are not ready for the international world. But we're all learning, we're all growing, and I had a portfolio like that before and after. So I wanted, I'm going to do my next video, I'm going to show my before portfolio and my after, so that people will know that okay, this is how she has grown. Growth. Yeah, the growth is, you have to see very well. So it's more of analytics, and I tell social media managers, when you're working with any brand, as long as you did not sign an NDA, analytics should be able to take screenshots of everything. Of posts that did well, campaign that did well, the ones that did not do well, leads. They'll take screenshots of everything, because and also you don't have to add every brand to your portfolio. Just pick 2 or 3 case studies, maximum of 3, put them there, put your case studies, and then create your portfolio. But like I said, at the end of this month of May, I don't know when you listen to this podcast episode, at the end of the month of May, you should be able to create portfolio. It will be this month. No, I'm just saying, no, after this month, people will still be listening to your podcast. You're not going to delete the episode. So anybody that is listening, if you just go, you should be able to create a portfolio. Check your page. You don't even check my page, you'll find me on Google when you search for me. It's not pride, it's humility. I've learned SEO. I've learned it. I've mastered it.
Okay. And now, the major thing many people are buzzing around is AI. And then, as AI has become more prevalent in marketing, there's this huge question of how can social media managers stay relevant? Market professionals have been quickening their boots since they talked about it. Sam Altman mentioned that 95% of marketers would lose their jobs, and then AI will be able to do their job, something like that. And everyone has basically been running around. Employers also are promoting different apps for different responsibilities. You have people say you can use Lumen 5 for content creation. You turn text to videos. Instead of using a social media manager, you can use ManyChat for community engagement, so on and so forth. So how can social media managers stay relevant in a world where the focus is sort of shifting towards AI?
The focus is not shifting to AI because a lot of people are now spotting AI content and are not engaging within AI content. I'm sorry, I won't watch a YouTube video. Yes, you might not be showing your faceless YouTube video, but you see that most times it's voices that are behind it, and it's consistent voices of the people that are there. Apart from maybe it's a cartoon. I want to learn something as an adult. I am playing cartoon for me. Are you kidding me? You see most of these faceless YouTube videos that are using AI for their images or anything. They are recording their own voice and talking about it, making the voiceover with it. Funny that you're saying this thing. I'm using AI. I'm even doing 2 YouTube videos this month. The video for this week is how to generate AI images for your YouTube videos for faceless, for anything basically.
You also posted a video on Instagram.
I've not posted it.
No, you posted a video on Instagram about AI. AI YouTube.
That's not even one. The one that I'm going to do, because you see, even that one wasn't able to pronounce my name correctly. It wasn't even able to pronounce some sentences correctly. So you need to use. Yesterday I was working. I was crafting my script for this month. And I used AI to make my work faster. It did still make my work faster. I had to this is sounding like so robotic. What do you mean social media whiskey? How to remove it? So you need to use AI to work for you. And trust me, a lot of companies, brands are spotting that AI is doing a lot of things, and they're frowning against AI. AI is not taking your job. You need to be smart and use AI to work for you to get that job, get that client, get that contract that you want to do, and just keep it moving. To be honest,
So AI shouldn't be your competitor. Instead, it is something that should complement you.
You should be a collaborator with you.
You
should collaborate with AI to create that kind of content.
Okay. Now, speaking of AI and tools that you've mentioned, what tools do you use day to day as part of your social media management workflow?
I don't use ChatGPT.
Let's classify them. I don't use ChatGPT. Okay. Let's classify them according to their usage.
Okay.
For example, let's do CapCut for video creation.
Yeah, I do that.
Sprout Social and later for scheduling.
I don't use Sprout Social.
Okay. your turn.
I can talk about them.
Your turn. What are the tools you use?
Okay, I use CapCut for video editing.
Yeah.
I use Gemini for research. I don't use ChatGPT anymore.
Okay.
I use Gemini Advanced, by the way.
Okay.
I use Quillbot for rewriting. I use Canva Magic Write for also rewriting. I use WordTune Pro for also rewriting. Quillbot Pro also for rewriting. I use iPhone camera edit for editing. the inbuilt. I don't use Lightroom anymore because I like that I can copy and paste my edits easily, and they have the same flow. I also use Canva filters for editing for some pictures, especially for my designs. I use SoundCloud to research audio for YouTube.
Background music.
Background music for my vlogs. I use TubeBuddy Pro, by the way. And to be honest, I tell everybody that is listening, buy Pro. Why are you using free? If you don't buy Pro, you will not get all this thing anymore. So pack it as part of your business expense. I use TubeBuddy Pro for analyzing my keywords, A/B testing on YouTube, and I'm moving to Legend soon. So I pay for an entire year. I use Canva Pro, by the way, for designs and everything. Now, thank you for this. You've given me a content idea. I'm going to do a film and video on the tools I use as a social media manager.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. Tools. I use Substack for my newsletter. I'm thinking of doing Flowdex again or ConvertKit, but I use Substack right now for my newsletter because a lot of people can go back and read my publications.
Read the previous ones.
I really love it. I use YouTube Studio for also YouTube, so I don't use only just one. I use YouTube Studio for also YouTube. I use Google Docs. Google Docs to dump my ideas. I use Notion to also dump all my ideas. I use Google Keep to also dump all my ideas. So I feel like those are my main tools. Let me see if there are any other tools that I have. My tools are always open. I think I've mentioned that. Then I use Canva. Canva is my major tool. But yeah, those are the tools I use as a social media manager.
All right then. As we wind down, over the years, you have given a lot of advice to social media managers, people just starting out and even existing ones.
Yeah.
But today, in 2024, with everything that has happened in the social media space so far, what are your top 3 favorite advice for social media managers?
Number 1, you need money to succeed as a social media manager. Bastard money. You need to. I'm gonna say I'm not gonna trust a social media manager that is using a technophone.
Okay.
That the quality is blurry on what you post on your page with my account, because the way you do stories on Android is different from the way it shows on iPhone, and it looks kind of tacky. It doesn't look aesthetically pleasing. And if I'm a business owner, I will not want to give it to you give that to you. So and that just shows me that you're a social media manager that's not willing to invest in yourself. You know, say I don't have the phone. There are some phones that are low budget that you can buy. Yeah. That you would rather. I had to sacrifice a lot of data, like not subscribing to buy my first iPhone. Yes, I can talk now that I'm more privileged, but still, like invest in your gadgets. A lot of social media money, I'm using free Canva, I'm using free this one. When do you want to blow? Is it with the free? You're looking for hacked Canva, you're looking for hacked CapCut. When do you want to blow? So anybody that is not paying for their resources, I will not take them serious. Also, I wanted to work with a video editor one time. She gave me a quote for that. Apart from the fact that she was charged me for video, she will also charge me for the data that she will buy. I'm like, you should calculate that together. You shouldn't be charging me separately for it, because I'm also using data to upload the video to you. So it doesn't make any sense to me if you don't get that. So number 1, invest in yourself as a social media manager. Try, sacrifice, make sacrifices and invest in yourself. Okay. Number 2, also invest in courses, certification classes, and there's so much. There's a reason why we give out free knowledge on YouTube. All those free knowledge that you can do for YouTube, if you can check some blog posts, some blog websites, is the ones that you want to learn is in our paid courses. Go and check. Everybody that you are looking at, everybody has paid courses. The free knowledge is because you don't know how to do research. We are happy to bring everything together, dilute it in where you can understand it, and then put it out for you. But you want to learn all those other ones. There's a reason why we do paid courses and mentorships. So invest in that also. Stop looking for free things every time. Number 3, you need to, as a social media manager, have boundaries. Learn how to say no. Not every client is your client. Your boundaries will save you, your mental health. Learn how to say no, not just to clients, to every single thing. I've rejected many podcast invites. Yes, I've rejected many trainings and everything. There's some people that I give my rate card that did not come back. They'll be fine. Next time they come back, the rates will have increased. And learn from your mistakes. You will make mistakes. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Make it. There was a brand that reached out to me beginning of the year. This brand, I should have even learned from them. I gave them a reduced price for a video, and they were like, "Oh, we want to do 6 months." And I'm like, "Okay, we can do 6 months." What I should have done is I did not sign a contract. I don't know why I did not. Well, I did actually, but then they didn't come the next month after the first video did well. I know they'll still come back. Yeah, I know. But when they come back, yesterday's price is not going to be today's price. Yes. And if they want to do 6 months, they will pay half of that 6 months before I do a video for them. Yes, if you don't pay off profit, forget about it. Don't worry. By God's grace, I will not starve. Amen. And last but not the least, as a social media manager, new social media manager in this world, I know it's very corny, but I'll say follow me. It's very corny, but I'll say follow me. You want somebody that will not sugarcoat things for you, that will share everything about a journey. I just started out again. I have all my posts are in my cover. I did not delete everything. I'm not lying. You just don't see. I noticed that. Everything is in my archive. I noticed. So I'm just starting again. So I'm starting afresh, not copying anybody, not following anybody's blueprints. Before I was doing a lot of CapCut tutorials. At this point, everybody's doing CapCut tutorial to blow. Yeah. I'm going to teach you what is going to be very beneficial for your life. I've said a lot of things. I'll just say, last but not the least, again, experiment for yourself. Because Bolaji is telling you, I think, things from my own experience. You need to try things for yourself. And that's it. That's it.
We've covered so much today about social media management.
Yes, we have.
And it makes me so happy how we are clearing the misconceptions and helping people understand social media management better. Thank you, Bolaji. Thank you. I really appreciate your time and insights.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Now, we end every episode talking about wine, but since you don't drink
I
wine,
drink water.
yeah, you drink water. I brought my own wine. Yeah.
Okay.
Marketing over wine is basically marketing conversations
Okay.
and marketing career stories over a glass or bottle of wine.
Okay.
So I brought my wine, my Ruby's chocolate wine, to the show today.
I bought my aqua water, natural mineral water.
Your aqua water,
Suitable for
H2O.
a low sodium diet.
If you could have a glass of apple juice,
Okay.
let's change it like that. If you could have a glass of apple juice
Okay.
with any marketing professional of your choice, who would it be and why?
I say Latasha James, because she's someone I look up to,
Okay.
and I want to know her systems, basically. What's going on behind the scenes? How is she doing it? I want to know. I want to be in her head. So Latasha James, she's somebody I really look up to. She has over 700 something videos on YouTube. Like, oh, sister, how? I'm not even reached 200. But yeah, Latasha James.
Okay.
Definitely Latasha James.
All right.
Yeah. But if in the Nigerian landscape, I'd say this boy. What's his name? Milton of Seller.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. He knows what he's doing. He's not in Nigeria, he's in Rwanda, but
Yeah.
I love the way he talks about Seller. I love the way he does the marketing of Seller. We're one of the companies I've seen in Nigeria that really does marketing well. So yeah,
Okay. Where can we go to learn more about Omobolaji Ajibare?
just look for the social media Oga on YouTube,
Instagram.
Instagram. On LinkedIn, you might not find it. My name is Omobolaji Ajibare. You cannot see the social media Oga there, so that when professionals are looking for me, they will not say that your name is the social media Oga. But yeah, on all these platforms, yeah, you'll find me there. But yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Why do I keep ending it with that?
Bolaji Billions, everyone. If you don't already follow her and you are a social media
You don't
manager,
have to follow me. You don't have to
you are
follow
missing
me.
out on a lot. You are missing out
No,
on a
I'm
lot.
not even humble. You don't have to follow me. One day you will need me. You
Hit
don't have
the
to follow
follow
me now.
button. Me, I am telling you, hit the follow button. And make sure you share your biggest takeaways from this episode with both
Yeah,
of
I
us
love to
online.
hear that. It was a long episode, but it was
Yeah. If you're using Twitter, I'm not calling it X. I'm still not going to call it X.
Okay.
But if you're using Twitter, tag us both and share your biggest takeaways. That's Bolaji Billions with an extra S at the back and at MKTG over wine on Twitter. You can also tag my personal account at that_Niyi on
Yeah.
Twitter. And if you use Instagram, share your lessons to your IG stories and tag at TheSocialMediaOga
Yeah.
and at Marketing Over Wine. I want to see what you are applying and what lesson you are taking from this episode. Bolaji, thank you so much for coming on the pod
Thank you so much for having me.
and for responding when I emailed you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
You're amazing at what you do. Appreciate you.
Thank God, oh. It's God. And discipline.
Yeah. And time and consistency.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining me on this episode of Marketing Over Wine. To listen to more career stories or marketing professionals around the world, subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or any podcast app of your choice. Or simply visit marketingoverwine.com to stay up to date.